One thing you asked us to dig into, Jason, is a thing called LooksMapping. Now, we love a side project here on Twist. We love things that mash up data and do interesting bits of, data visualization, if you will. But here's the story. Riley Walz, one of the members of the team that you might recall, Jason, made that fake steakhouse for a night in New York City that got quite a lot of publicity and coverage.
Oh, yes. That was incredible. I didn't realize it was the same people. So they did that fake steakhouse that people went crazy for, and they promoted on social media. I forgot the detail of why that was so polarizing. Why was that fake steakhouse so polarizing?
Well, I think the thing was, it was run by amateurs, and it was not an actual restaurant. I presume they were kind of getting around some labor and food safety codes, but they set it up, and then real people thought it was a real thing. And I forget how they hacked the engagement and so forth. But as you can see from this picture, it was a real quasi restaurant. It has the curb appeal adjacent of a prison cell. But people didn't think that they were going to a fake social experiment steakhouse. And so it got quite a lot of publicity. And if we've learned one thing from Roy over at Cluely, people who are good at hacking engagement tend to be good at hacking engagement.
Yes.
And so Mr. Riley Walz, made a tool called LooksMapping. Now, Jason, are you familiar with the phrase LooksMaxing?
I am not Gen Z, so I'm not, but I'm assuming that means your aura is off the charts and you're aura farming with a good look.
Yeah, so maxing is done with two X's, M-A-X-X-I-N-G, and you can noun max. You can swole max, I believe. You can looks max, whatever.
Got it.
The idea is it's whatever you're working on. So looks mapping is a fun play on looks maxing, because what this service does is rates restaurants based on how attractive their clientele is.
Okay.
And then it created a heat map with blue icons for less attractive clientele and red icons for more attractive clientele. This is the LooksMapping map of Manhattan's restaurants. And as you can see, if you go to a place called Da Umberto, it only gets a 1.7 out of 10 on the hotness scale. But if you go to, let's say, Molly Gramercy, a nice 10 out of 10 on the hotness meter.
How did they get the data, I guess is the question. Did they set up a camera of people coming in and out? Did they take Yelp photos or photos on Instagram of people taking pictures at the restaurant? Because that would bias the data. Because ugly people don't take pictures of themselves. Old people don't take pictures themselves, but young people take them at a much higher rate, and they know how to use filters. So I'm wondering how that worked. And then, of course, you have to get at what is the algorithm for hotness. I guess they could very simply just say, ask people how hot this person is on a scale of 1 to 10, do a hot or not. And that's the algorithm. So
this is where this goes from incredibly awesome to a little bit janky underneath. So what Mr. Riley did was he pulled in millions of reviews from Google Reviews, and also I think a little more than 500,000 images that were associated with those reviews. And then the algorithm gauged things according to the times. So like a clear image was hotter, wedding rings implied you could find a partner, so it was hotter, that sort of thing.
Got it.
I don't know how strong that element is. And the guy was like, look, I'm not trying to be perfect here. He says, this website just puts reductive numbers on the superficial calculations we make every day, a mirror held up to our collective vanity. So it's, to me, more of an art project than it is a if you want to get laid, go to this restaurant and wear a suit.
Got it. So it is a way to get people on podcasts to talk about it. Mission accomplished. I think this is like the important thing we've talked about before on this podcast. If you're running a startup, you can do high profile things like this that get you a massive amount of attention. The Cluely startup about like cheating on everything and, showing how you can cheat on a developer test where you're like monitoring your screen, or you have another device monitoring that and it's giving you coaching. So there's little hacks like this. The $1 million homepage I always talk about, the founder Alex Tu, who did Palm.com, his first project was the $1 million homepage. That had a gimmick to it. Every pixel, $1, 10,000, 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. And you buy one of the 1 million pixels and he made $1 million. Like $1 million homepage was like a real phenomenon. And as you can see here, each pixel could be linked. So free hosting or tab marks. If you clicked on those giant things, you got clicks.